What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Game Room Podcast. I'm Rome.
I'm Dev.
And Dev, how are you doing?
Tired as usual.
You know, I'm excited that baseball is starting. It was a great Super Bowl run. I've spent a lot of money on merchandise.
I'm still living off the high of the Super Bowl.
I am too. The thing is, you're not a baseball guy.
Yeah.
So, like, for me, it was kind of crazy going from football to baseball so quickly. It's only something that we've really experienced, like, twice, obviously. Because usually it's like, all right, even if you lose in the playoffs, you're kind of sitting around for like a month or two for spring training to start. Spring training has started and the Phillies are picking up where they left off, and that's not well. But it's just spring training, But the Philadelphia way is to declare that the sky is falling and the season's over before it even began.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm ready to believe in this baseball team again. I think.
All right.
I hope. But anyways, welcome on into the Game Room Podcast, where each and every week we go over all the news in video games, get you caught up to speed, so that way you're ready to tackle the next week in gaming. If you enjoy the show, please make sure you like, subscribe, all that stuff. Join our Discord, which you can find in the description, and all that. But let's get right into the news. Number one in the headlines, Devereaux. The teases started off very small, a lot of hearsay, but as the week went on, picked up traction about a new Tony Hawk game. So last week, on the 18th, there was a pro skater who was on a radio show, and he was just like, "Oh, I'm in the next Tony Hawk game." And he was like, "What do you mean? What are you talking about? There is no Tony Hawk game, right?" According to pro skateboarder Tyshawn Jones, during a radio appearance he said on February 18th, he was talking with New York's Power 105.1 FM. Jones gave away that a new game is set to be revealed and or released in the near future. Quote, "I'm in a Tony Hawk coming out, so that's cool," he said. "They got a new one they're remastering, so that's about to come out. I was in the last one." Talks surrounding the future of Tony Hawk games has been circulating for months, which we reported on a couple months ago when they said that this year was an anniversary year and they were going to...
I wonder if he got in trouble for that.
I don't know. I mean, based off of what we're going to be talking about in a little bit, it seems like the time was about right. I wonder if Tony was like, "Hey, can you just say something?
Okay.
Just get the ball rolling."
It is an open secret at this point.
Yeah, we all kind of had ideas that something was coming.
Mm-hmm.
So this was originally all that we had. And it was like, oh, okay. But then, so we're going to hop over to a different game. Call of Duty, Black Ops 6 had their Season 2 Reloaded, which for those that don't play Call of Duty, it's like the halfway through the season content drop. And so they brought back an old map from Black Ops 2 called Grind. And Grind is basically, I'm sure you can tell by the name of it, it is a skate park. It is a skate park Call of Duty map. One of the better Black Ops 2 maps, if I'm being honest. I have not been on Black Ops 6 since this came out, so I have not played it in Black Ops 6. But if you go into one of the one of the indoor areas, there is a date for March 4th, 25, with what looks like a skater. The latest tease comes just days after, again, Tyshawn Jones said that it was coming. He was in a Tony Hawk game. So we have a few little things that we're kind of looking into right now. Again, it's just exciting. I grew up loving Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk was such an iconic game in my library when I played it, my games library.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Pro Skater games, but the games that I really loved were the Underground games and American Wasteland, because they had the great gameplay of the Pro Skater games, but then they also added a little bit more pop culture into them, and I always really enjoyed them. I did really love the 1 and 2 remake that the Activision put out back in, I believe, 2020 it was. So I'm really excited. I love Tony Hawk. And it was funny because just before we went live, they actually updated their website.
Okay.
So the Tony Hawk game website to March 4th, 2025, and it says loading new maps.
Okay.
So basically, it's March 4th. Next week, we're going to be talking about it. Well, not next week, but the following
week,
because we're probably going to go do a show on the 3rd. So not this upcoming week, but the week after, we'll be talking about this reveal. It's speculated that it's going to be a Tony Hawk 3, Pro Skater 3 and 4 remaster, which I'm all down for. You know, I'm excited for it. And hey, if you want more Tony Hawk games, buy this one. So
yeah, I wonder if this is. Remember, we talked about they had their anniversary recently, and we talked about them not having any games out. Like, why not put the old games on Game Pass? Maybe this is why. Hold those games off because you know you're having a remaster coming soon. So
well, I wouldn't be surprised if, depending on when this new one comes out, maybe they drop the 1 and 2 remake on Game Pass.
Yeah, that too.
I mean, because we're setting up for a reveal here on March 4th, but when is the game coming out?
Mm-hmm.
Could it be something that they're dropping in the near future? Maybe, but if it's not, if it's like, let's say it's an October game, it's like, okay, well, maybe they put 1 and 2 remaster on Game Pass in the meantime. Which, keep in mind, Activision owned by Xbox. This is going to be a Game Pass release that we're talking about right now, which is also really exciting. So I'm looking forward to Tony Hawk, whatever they put out.
Mm-hmm.
Again, they're just great games. Like, I think that like Tony Hawk is like the Tony Hawk games are like one of those things where it's like maybe you weren't a skater growing up. You know what I mean? Like you didn't skate. Like I can't skate. I remember I got on a board like once or twice. Didn't go well. Decided, you know what? I'm just gonna hang out and have a good time while everyone else tries to ollie. And stuff.
I couldn't do tricks, but I skated for a while actually.
I think I remember that.
Yeah.
But no, I used to wear like the skater shoes. Like you would think I could skate. Like I was walking around like I was wearing the skater shoes. I was wearing like I remember I really liked World Industries, like the little fire and ice graphics. It's like really cool stuff. Like I used to wear like skater clothes all the time, and it's just like can't skate. Tried.
There's also like right now there's a drought of skating games. People really want skating games back. We had like
well, yeah. I mean, EA can't get skate back fast enough. People really want to play these skating games.
And there's that one that's been in development for I don't know how long. That looked pretty
cool.
Skate 4? Is it Skate 4?
Skate 4 is in development right now.
Okay.
And they're trying to make they're really trying to get that game out. I don't know when it's coming out, but they're trying. So yeah, we'll be keeping tabs on that storyline as we get through March. Number 2 in the headlines, Dev. Microsoft's Xbox AI era has started with a model that can generate gameplay. The following comes from The Verge. The Verge reported in November that Microsoft was about to start a bigger effort to bring AI features to Xbox. Today, the company is unveiling what it's calling a breakthrough in AI for gaming. Microsoft's new Muse AI model could help Xbox developers create parts of games in the future. And the company says it's even exploring the potential of using it to preserve classic games and optimize them for modern hardware. Microsoft Research has created Muse, a first-of-its-kind generative AI model that can generate a game environment based on visuals or players' controller actions. It understands a 3D game world and game physics can react to how players interact with the game. Quote, this allows a model to create consistent and diverse gameplay rendered by AI, demonstrating a major step towards generative AI models that can empower game creators, explains Fatima Kardar, Corporate Vice President of Gaming AI at Microsoft. The Muse model was trained on a large amount of human gameplay data from the Xbox game Bleeding Edge, thanks to a collab between Microsoft Research and the Xbox studio Ninja Theory, both of which are based in Cambridge in the UK. This partnership allowed us to closely collaborate with the game studio to understand what needs to be in place and how we can responsibly unlock access to a large amount of gameplay data, says Katja Hoffman, head of Microsoft Research's Games Intelligence team. So Dev, what are your initial thoughts on Microsoft pushing AI into the future of Xbox?
I'm all for. We've talked about this before, and I think we were on different sides. I'm all for AI in gaming. I think there's a lot of cool things you can do. This is not one of the cool things, personally, on both sides. Like,
so what is cool that you can do with AI in gaming, in your opinion?
Just first of all, NPCs. I think AI NPCs would be really cool. NVIDIA just talked about. I think they already have it in place where like there's an enemy you fight, some giant dragon that learns your moves as you play the game, and for me that's pretty cool. I think NPCs that can maybe more interactive, less like maybe I don't know, more interesting dialogue would be cool. Stuff like that. This is not, and like there's other things too. Like you see indie devs using it really cool for like environments and like building their games. You know, like one man studios. I don't really see on both sides. Like they say, one for helping create games and two for preserving it. And on both sides, I think one, you're going to see a lot of shovelware using AI. Like you're just going to get like that's just a given. You're going to get a lot more games made with AI, and it's just going to be shovelware. And then the game preservation. Why not just save the game? I don't understand. I maybe I just don't understand it. Maybe that's what the problem is. It just both sides of it seems really off center. Like I don't know.
Um, See, I'm someone that like I don't want to see AI generally used in games. I think a lot of the pros that you put out there, I get it. Like one developer teams, it's like, oh well, this one guy, maybe they need that help. I get it, but it's just like it's just not something I want to see. Like I like with dialogue options, like I'd rather someone actually like write better dialogue. Like I'd rather expect a writer to like someone controlling the narrative of the game, sculpting that narrative to be that person. I don't need like a generative AI to do that. Like, and like I could coincide that like okay, maybe it's cool to have like an enemy that learns based off how you play. Like I mean, I guess maybe that aspect of it could be kind of cool, using it in a gameplay perspective. But like in terms of the creative side, like I really just don't have an interest in AI in games. Like I want to see people like make these games. I want to see people write.
But like again,
narratives.
we talked about this before. It's not you don't press the AI button on the computer and the game is made. You still need, like for example, like okay, the enemy, the dragon that's learning your moves and like adapting to you, fighting you. You can work. It's an NPC. Like you can, if you build a character. Hey, this is Gerald. He works at this shop here. He likes this. He likes that. And your character does things that like upsets him, or you know what I mean. Like I think stuff like that could be
already exists in gaming.
Yeah, but you can you can use AI to do the same thing, and I think that would be really cool to like.
But why, if it's already being done, why do you need AI to do it? Like it's already being done. These games already exist where
for the same reason that AI
NPC characters have schedules.
For the same reason that AI is useful in every other use. It's cheaper and faster, and if done right, it can be used really well. It just can. Like it's the facts.
I would rather someone actually write the narrative, write the dialogue.
Yeah, but you're not putting the time and work and money into this. You know what I mean?
Making games it's what it is. It's
yeah.
Like, if anybody can make a game, you don't think that lowers the factor of like.
We already have shovelware now.
Right. So what, you want more shovelware? Like is that what you're
So don't play it. It's you act like it's
no 100%. Like yeah.
Listen, we're going to get shovelware from AI regardless. Someone is going to push a button and make a crappy game, and that's what Microsoft seems to be doing first. But like, don't play that game. Like it's just we get shovelware all the time. Every now and then we bring up that one guy who made
for sure
that zombie shooter, and it's
yeah, I get it. But like my point is that like, well, then we shouldn't be openly saying like, oh yes, well we need more of this. Like it just
no,
like
it's not. It's not more. Thing. It's not more. It's better. You need better of this.
No, you're saying that more people to use this, and like yes, like you want it to be done better.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I want.
But it's still being done.
More people are going to use it because it's easier access, but it should be done better. You can't just say AI is bad. I don't want AI in my game. That's like very. It's like your take with live service games. It's dumb. It's.
What's my take with live service games?
You say like all live service games are bad.
Never said that.
And so it's kind of the same thing with AI. You can't just say
AI
AI is bad. No, I didn't go back and look through it.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure you just didn't have the time.
It's in there.
Real busy guy, huh? Yeah, no.
It's the same thing with AI. Like we've already seen AI in games, and I just don't think this is the route we should be taking.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the preservation stuff, I definitely don't get that. I think that's really weird, and kind of lazy. I mean, you made a great point before we went live.
It seems the opposite of lazy. You already have the game, so just find a way to save the game. You're putting extra work to learn the you know what I mean?
It doesn't take work.
But it takes you already built the game.
Yeah, I get that.
Take the game and save it. Why you putting it through an AI model? It does take work because the AI has to learn the game over and over and over and over again.
I don't count AI doing work as doing work.
But it still takes time and resources and money. Like, it still takes all that.
That's like, it would be like if I like told you to make like a new intro for the show, and I sit here like, oh, look at all this work I did. Huh. Like, no, it's not.
But it's still work.
You did the work.
But it's work.
Did I do any work there? No, I said, Deborah, we need.
But
to
it
do
still
a
costs.
new intro.
But it still costs resources, and it's not like, oh, the dishwasher washes the dishes, so that's not work. You still have to load the dishwasher. You still have to unload it. You still have to buy the resources to actually wash the dishes.
Yeah,
the soap.
There's no work in AI. You type up a little prompt.
No, that's not how it works. I keep telling you, there is no AI button that you push and shit comes out. It's generative AI. You have to put in to get out.
That's what I just said. You type in a little prompt. You type in what you want, and then it makes it.
That's okay. Yeah.
Am
You type
I wrong?
in. Yeah. No. You type in a little prompt and you push the AI button and the game gets made. Yeah, that's it.
Create a shopkeeper who dislikes fish.
And then you push the button.
And he works at this time of day.
Mm-hmm. And then it just creates it, yeah. And it creates the world around it, too. No, that's not how it works.
The dialogue. And then you go to the next thing. It's like, okay, well, now I need a town. Like, here, generate these buildings around here. It's meant to be a coastal seaside town. Make. What do you mean? Yes, I guess typing prompts is work. I get, you got me. But, no.
That's
what
so.
am I not understanding? What am I?
You're being so dismissive about it.
Enlighten me then. What am I not understanding about it?
If done right.
And I'm not even being facetious right now. I'm genuinely saying, enlighten me as to what I'm getting wrong about the usage of AI.
It's the same thing with making a video game. Like if I go to an older person, a boomer, and I tell them, hey, we make video games, and they're able to a video game, that's easy. You're doing that, but with AI. You're just doing it with
that makes no sense because creating games is hard work.
Hard work? You don't know what hard work is. Hard work is backbreaking. Hard work is putting your muscle into something. You're sitting at a computer all day and pushing buttons, and you're just making a game. You're doing that, but with AI.
It's not the same thing.
But your argument is the same thing. I agree, it's not the same thing. But you have this old man argument of AI is bad.
Not
period.
An old man argument.
It really is.
It's factual. It's just, I want creators to create the game.
But they are creating the games. AI is just a tool. It's not creating the game.
It's doing the work for you.
You still have to do the work.
You still have to put the prompts in, and I guess you have to look it over. Sure, I guess, but I'm not trying to be dismissive. It's just factually just what it is.
You still have to do the work, though. Okay, how about this? If AI is that much, I have a friend who's making a VR game using AI for programming. If AI right now is so easy where you just push a button and do it, I want you to spend the next week using AI to program a game because AI can do programming. And if it's so easy, I'll come back next week and I want to see what you have done.
I don't feel like doing it.
Why not?
Because it takes a lot of time.
It takes a lot of time?
Yeah, because
really?
You have to wait for the AI to generate it.
Wow.
I got
what do you mean it takes seconds? It's AI.
I didn't say it takes seconds.
All right, how about this? I'll give you a month. I'll give you a month. Minimal work for a month. It's a little project. You know what I mean? You could be on a toilet doing this.
Obviously, there takes some coding to make a video.
No, though, the AI does the coding. That's what I'm telling you.
Are you being serious?
Yes, I'm being very serious.
Oh, then yeah, I could make a game if I wanted to.
Okay, so give it a month. Just spend a little bit.
I don't want to make.
Why not?
Because I don't want to.
But you're saying it's so easy. Just make a game. Roam the game. I'll play it. We'll play it on here. It'll be fun.
I'm not going to use stuff that I don't want to see used.
No, but you're saying it's so easy. Just do it. Just show me really quick how easy it is.
I don't want to.
That's because it's not that easy, Jerome. It's not.
Oh, okay.
It's not.
Okay, sure. Whatever you say.
Because it's not. It's not just a push a button and it's done. There's still trial and error. It's just like.
Again, yes, you got to look it over, but again, you're not making it.
You are. What do you mean you're not making it?
So let's say if a developer needs a forest, right? And he uses AI to make that forest. The AI is the one that generates the forest. He doesn't make any of the art. He doesn't make the placement of the location. What is it then?
But that's not a video game. That's just an environment. And a video game is an all-encompassing thing.
Yeah, but I'm talking about one aspect of a game. But obviously, you can apply it to other parts of making a game. But I'm trying to pinpoint an example to keep it simple.
Well, yeah. If you create the forest, yeah. If you just want a forest made.
That's what I'm saying. It's okay. Well, the forest is done. Now let's get to what do I need next? Oh, I need I need an NPC to lead someone through the forest. It's make an NPC that is a guide for the player to lead them through a forest and has some dialogue options that are mysterious.
No.
I don't fucking know.
No, that doesn't. You'll get shit back. It doesn't. Again, it doesn't work that way.
Okay.
It doesn't work that way at all.
Okay.
It just doesn't.
How does it work then? I asked you to clarify what I was not understanding, and
yeah, because I can't
give an answer.
Because I can't explain it to you because you don't even like. This is really frustrating because.
Well, explain it. I'm literally.
I can't.
I am dead.
I can't.
Sitting here with an open mind, saying I'm willing for you to.
The same reason I can't explain. The same reason I can't explain Call of Duty to my grandmother is why I can't explain AI to you.
What do you mean?
You're so close-minded and like I can't even.
I'm literally sitting here saying, please help me.
But you're being dismissive about everything. You are. You literally are.
How am I being dismissive?
Because
it's exactly what I'm saying it is.
No, it's not. It's not.
How is it not?
Because it isn't. It just isn't. You can't type in at the computer, I need an NPC that leads me with dialogue options and be mysterious. Go. It doesn't work that way.
It does.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, then explain me how it doesn't.
What do you mean explain? I'm telling you that it doesn't.
I'm just sitting back.
It just doesn't work that way. It doesn't.
I'm just sitting back. Okay. Well, I guess we'll never know.
No, you'll never know because you're not even open to like looking into it. Just by yourself, create an image, and then you'll see that it doesn't work that way.
I see no value in that.
Yeah, of course not.
I just don't want to.
Yeah, you don't want to learn about it. So when I try to teach you, you can't learn about it because you don't want to learn about it.
I said you can teach me.
But you don't want to learn about it. You just said yourself you don't want to know. You literally just said that. I don't want to know.
I don't have
and
time
that's
to figure it out.
You don't have time. Yeah, you're a really busy guy, right?
Actually, I am.
Yeah.
Very busy. Number 3 in the headlines is a Pokemon Presents this week, Devro. You looking forward to it?
Yeah.
So there's a big... You're so frustrated.
Because you're so stubborn and like you're such an old man. Yeah, you are. And like you don't want to learn anything that's not already been done.
I ask you, you don't give me any, you're not
you just said yourself, I don't want to know. And that your whole attitude is you don't want to know.
That was actually just me trying to move on. But, yeah. Anyways, there's a Pokemon Presents coming up on Thursday at 9 a.m.
I don't want to know.
You don't want to know? You don't want to know? I'm really looking forward to it. There's a rumor going around about...
Don't get your hopes up.
There's a big rumor. I'm not saying that it's true. But I would argue that it is like the ultimate...
You do this every time.
No, so here's the thing.
You do this every time with Nintendo. Mm-hmm. Every time. Every year.
This is not true. It's not true.
Every year you do this with Nintendo.
So here's the thing.
Here we go.
With Pokemon or Nintendo, we talk about like what makes the most sense, right? And we know that Nintendo doesn't do it. They do their own version of like the right thing to do. And so there's a rumor going around that they're going to release a collection of Gen 1 through 3. And I think that the reason that I think that there's a lot of credence to this rumor is the fact that the thing that makes the most sense would be to have the games hit NSO. Right? That's the thing that makes sense. You have your subscription service, you have the Game Boy games there. It makes sense to just put Pokemon in NSO. You know what doesn't make sense? Not putting them on NSO and releasing them as a collection.
Going the complete opposite.
Which is why I think
that doesn't work either. That doesn't work
either.
You don't think
it doesn't work?
It doesn't work
Especially
either.
if it has Pokemon Home integration?
No, I think it sounds amazing. I think that's what everyone wants.
No, I think everyone wants it on NSO. That's what I want.
No, people don't care. People just want it. I don't want it on NSO. I don't want NSO.
Like, yes, I want it, period, but, like, I'm paying for NSO. Like, I want the games on NSO.
Yeah, I don't want it on NSO because I'm not paying for NSO. I just want the games. So, no, I don't think everyone wants it on NSO. I think when we do this podcast next week, you're going to be very upset about this Pokemon Presents.
I mean, I don't know if I'll be disappointed because I mean, like, I know we're gonna see Pokemon Legends ZA.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm very excited for that. I'm looking forward to that. I mean, we're gonna get here's the thing. I think I'm going into it with a very like realistic expectations in a sense that it's going to be 95% garbage. It's gonna be like, hey, remember that Pokemon Cafe mix? Here's the update for that. here's the update for this. I mean, like, this time around, we'll get an update for, like, TCG Pocket, probably.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool. But I think a good chunk of it's probably going to be kind of, like, every year, it's like, man, this 20-minute presentation really could have been 3 minutes.
Like you said, I'm excited for Pokemon ZA. If we actually do get that release that you're talking about, the collection, I'd be over the moon with that.
I would be as well.
Yeah, that would be...
I would literally, like, fall to my knees.
And the same thing with Black and White. I want us to get something. I don't think we are.
You're not going to Black and White.
Yeah.
I can't see them doing that
Yeah.
anytime soon.
But...
I think because they find themselves in this weird situation where, like, in terms of, like, new releases, they're moving to this more open world now. And I don't know how you remake anything prior in that way. You know what I mean? I don't know how you take, like, Black and White.
No, I don't. I think Black and White just needs a remake.
Yeah, but I'm saying I wonder...
You think they would make it into a 3D thing?
I wonder if they're beyond just simply remaking in that old style, because now they're... Like, when Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl came out, they actually outsourced that to an outside developer. They didn't make that game themselves.
Yeah.
So it's like, I wonder if because Game Freak, when the Switch happened, they moved everyone everyone went over to home console, because there isn't, like, now, like, that's what it is. I don't know if they bother with those like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think they're probably in their mind, they're like, hey, we'll remake Black and White when it makes sense to do it in the way we do games now. Because, like, Pokemon games now are open world with hubs. And so, like, I don't know if they would have that figured out. And, like, that's how I'm looking at it. Could be wrong. Maybe they do just do a straight up remake of Black and White. But if, like, let's say ZA comes out, and ZA has been confirmed still by Nintendo to be a Switch 1 release. So we're going to see it before the Switch 2 comes out. Well, you would assume.
Yeah.
So if the Switch 2 comes out in June, let's say, you would have to assume that ZA is coming out before June. I don't think Pokemon would reveal the next generation of Pokemon yet. I think that's a next year thing. Reveal next year and release next year. So, I mean, there is some opportunity for the second half of the year. If the collection's real, then it would make sense. Let's say ZA comes out in April. Maybe the collection comes out in May, or, like, flip that around. Like, I think there's things that they could do.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's some interesting things. I just want the mainline games available on modern hardware. Like, that's just what I want. Like, I don't care how you do it. Do it on NSO. Do it for a premium release. Like, whatever. Like, and the big thing with the rumor is that, like, it's the original games.
But the remake version, right?
Well, Fire Red Leaf Green would be in the collection, is the rumor, but it's like the Pokemon Home connection.
No, I think it sounds awesome.
A big thing where it's. Like,
I agree.
Where it's like.
Again, that's something you can implement in the NSO too. Like, they could go either way. I don't see it. I don't see it right now.
I don't know.
I don't know when they're ever planning to release those games, but...
Alright, so what do you think is the most... Outside of ZA, and outside of mobile games, what is the most likely announcement in your mind that we see? Outside of anything ZA, outside of
anything mobile?
Yeah. So no Pokemon Go. Like, we're going to see Go. We're going to see TCG. We're going to see all the Unite X, all that stuff. Outside of all the mobile games and outside of ZA, what do you think is the most plausible or most, like, possible thing to happen or announcement?
I think I'm still going to go with the Black and White remake.
Okay.
I really can't think of anything else outside of that.
I just think those Gen 1 through 3, put them in a collection, sell them for $60. I just think
that sounds amazing, but they could honestly sell each one of those games for $30 a pop. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing is like, I remember that when Nintendo put them out on the 3DS, like Gens 1 and 2, they were like $6 each, I think. So, like, my thought process is if Nintendo is looking at it, or Game Freak's looking at it, and they have, like, let's say, I don't know if it's, like, the middle versions too, but let's say it is, and it's like, okay, well, there's 9 games, right? You do that math, and it's like, okay, it kind of shakes out to 60, kind of. So, I don't know. I guess we'll see. Oh, well. Number 4 in the headlines, there was an ID at Xbox showcase today, which I watched right before we went live. You came in and caught some of it. We're just gonna run through what was revealed. I'm gonna use Insider Gaming's recap to kind of go through it. Again, only got to watch it like once while I was prepping for the show, and Deborah was same thing. So, Revenge of the Savage Planet was shown off. That is coming to Game Pass, I believe. Insider Gaming didn't put like what's coming to Game Pass and what isn't, but there was like a lot of these were coming to Game Pass. Maybe I'll look it up afterwards. Saw a trailer for Jump Ship, which was a 1 to 4 player co-op game. Looks pretty interesting. Moonlighter 2: The Endless Vault. I know this is one of the games they announced for Game Pass. Play as like a merchant.
I thought this one came out already, or is this just coming to Game Pass? It was like a Game Pass announcement. I thought it came out already.
It is a Game Pass trailer. It says Game Pass trailer
Okay.
on YouTube. So yeah, I thought this game looks cool. I like the spin of like being like a merchant in a game. So I think
it says 2, so maybe it is a new game.
I don't know. It says Game Pass trailer.
Okay.
Oh, it says coming 2025 to Xbox Series, PS5, and
okay, because Moonlighter's already out. I know that for sure.
Yeah, so this is the next game coming this year. Yeah, but it's coming to Game Pass as well.
Okay.
Next up, this was a game that I believe we talked about last week. I think this was at the PlayStation Showcase because I remember seeing it. This is the one with the rooms. It's called Blueprints. This is coming to Game Pass, launching day 1 on Game Pass and PS Plus. Again, the game looks kind of cool. It looks like a puzzle, go through the house kind of game. I just kind of hope it's not like a roguelike. Again, like I don't like that stuff. I want like a curated game. And this game looks like something where I could see it being like randomized and generated and stuff. So
I mean, that could still work out. If a level has to have certain item, like hey, level 1 has this, level 2 has this, level 3 has this, or whatever, it still works out, even if it's randomly. You know what I mean?
I'm always just I don't know, man. It doesn't interest me. Like I want someone to like craft the challenge and make the challenge and cure like.
No, but the challenge is still there. Just the rooms are in different spots each time.
We saw a trailer.
You really want these guys to be slaving over these games?
No, it's not that. I just don't like. It's just the tech doesn't interest me. I want people to make games. Like that's.
You hate procedural generation.
I'm just not a fan of it. It's just not what I want in my games.
But you love Starfield.
Yeah.
This guy.
Oh man. Admittedly, the parts of Starfield that are like generated, like I'm just like whatever. Okay. Anyways, Outbound looks pretty cool. This was shown off, I believe, at the Game Awards. I think. But it looks okay.
Fun, cozy game.
Yeah, it's coming to Game Pass too, if I remember correctly. And then we saw Hurdling, which I thought looked pretty cool. Yeah. This is the one with the herding. I mean, it makes sense. Next up was Wax Heads, which this one was one that I liked. You look like you run like a record shop.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like...
It's kind of a puzzly, but also...
Puzzly simulator, but like the art style is really cool. So yeah, I was definitely
that one looks cool.
I was definitely feeling Wax Heads. That was pretty good. The Lonesome Guild. This was one that I think aesthetically looks really cool. But I was kind of like, okay. Buckshot Roulette. This was one that I was really excited about. Coming soon to Game Pass. I think this is already out on PC. And I think you said that as well, right? Yeah, because I definitely have seen this game before.
But I don't remember 4 players being it, so maybe there's like new stuff. I don't know.
Maybe it's like one of those things where it's like an update.
Yeah, or maybe like out of early access or whatever.
Yeah, it says coming soon to PC and Xbox Game Pass. So I don't know. Yeah, but this looked really cool. That was definitely something I was interested in. We saw the next trailer for Hotel Barcelona, which was shown off. This is a Suda 51 game.
Trippy art style.
Really cool art style. We were talking about it while we were watching this showcase. My thing was like, I'm just not really into side scrollers. So I was watching this. I was like, man, this looks like such a cool game. But it's like I could totally see myself like, just like, okay, let's get through the gameplay to get to the good stuff. Like that's just me though. I just don't like side scrollers like that. And then there's a big announcement about Balatro coming to Game Pass along with I guess it's the Friends of Jimbo Pack 4, which is like a bunch of tie-ins, including like Assassin's Creed, Fallout, Bug Snacks. There's a bunch of other ones too. I'm just trying to remember. Slay the Princess, which is a crazy little collab. And it's coming to Game Pass. It's out now for Game Pass. So, and then we saw Rock Beasts, which that was another one where it's just like, yeah, I thought this one looked really cool too. love the narrative games. I love playing like really narrative heavy indie games. And so like this seemed like that. So I'm definitely interested in that. Ratatan, which looked like a rhythm kind of game. I wasn't sure what to think about.
It looks cool.
Yeah, no, it does. It does, but
It's like certain attacks are paired with certain music types, like
yeah.
certain songs you play.
Yeah.
You got to play it on beat for higher score or whatever.
Then we saw Tempopo, which I mean I don't really have any.
It's like a puzzle, another cozy game.
Yeah, yeah. Next up was Voodoo or Woodo, I guess Woodo. This looked really cool. This one was another one where it's like very aesthetic, cozy. They did mention that there was a pretty. I think they said something about it being a narrative-driven game as well. So again, I like indie narrative games. So if that's kind of what this is, I would definitely be interested in that. I wonder if they say if it's coming to Game Pass. No, it doesn't look like it is. Tanuki Pond Summer was a game that I believe they showed off at the last Tokyo Game Show last September. We just got another trailer for it. It looks cool. Looks fun. And this one is coming to Game Pass. Descenders Next got a trailer, which is like a snowboard kind of game. Or I guess it's like one of those extreme sports kind of games. Yeah. I actually don't remember seeing this one. Got a trailer for Tron Catalyst. I've never gotten into Tron. Are you into Tron?
Tron's cool.
I've never been able to get into it. But, I mean, looking at the game, I thought it looked pretty good. Being published by Devolver Digital, and they usually have a pretty high quality, so if that's your thing. 33 Mortals got in a first early access release date trailer, which I think the release date was March 18th. Yeah, March 18th. Oh yeah, and then I forgot there was a Lies of P Overture trailer. I actually didn't get to watch this trailer because I was working on the script for the podcast.
It looks like the trailer we might have seen already when it was on
The State of Play.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does look really similar. It might be very similar stuff. I think we got a release date here though, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see.
No.
No
Okay.
release date. Okay. Well, yeah. So that was the ID at Xbox again. I really only got to watch it once while working on the script, just because I got done work and then started working on the script. So I thought it was a good showcase. There were a few things I was really interested in, other things that I'm not. But the nice thing about these Xbox indie showcases for me is that like there's always some Game Pass announcements, which like that's what I come to these showcases really for.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I went away from this. Let me see real quick. I think Xbox put out a post. Was there any games that you really liked out of this?
Well, Outro is probably something I'll get into now that it's on Game Pass.
Okay, so the games that are coming to Game Pass that were shown, Tempopo, Tanuki Dawn Summer, Revenge of the Savage Planet, Moonlighter 2, Ultimate Sheep Raccoon, which Insider Gaming I don't think even said that one, Echo Weaver, Descenders Next, Buckshot Roulette, Blueprints, Balatro, and 33 Immortals. So a good chunk of them come to Game Pass. So, all right. Number 5. Devereaux Sony has been sued for artificially high prices on the PlayStation Store. It's been revealed that a Dutch consumer group has filed a class action lawsuit against Sony. The organization, Massa Shade and Consummate, alleges that Sony is keeping prices on the PlayStation Store artificially high and is abusing a position of power by preventing players from buying digital versions of PS4 and PS5 games elsewhere. The class action lawsuit joins others that have surfaced recently in Portugal and the United Kingdom. This particular suit is exclusively reserved for residents of the Netherlands. The class action lawsuit, which was discovered first by Tweakers, states clearly in the headline that you're paying too much for PlayStation games. The suit is dubbed the alleged overpayments the Sony tax, and it stresses that all PlayStation gamers in the Netherlands have a right to compensation. On February 17th, the legal body wrote to Sony to hold it liable to the abuse of its dominant position and its further unlawful conduct in relation to the PS4 and PS5. Netherlands residents can register as part of the class action lawsuit for free by completing a simple form. The only requirement is that you made a digital purchase via the PlayStation Store at some point since November 29th, 2013, and you must be at least 8 years. You're 9 years old. Like, I'm suing Sony. That's funny to me. It's surprising it's not like 18. It's like, oh, so like a 9-year-old could just.
Yeah, why not? Rated E for everyone.
Yeah. In a statement on the site promoting the class action lawsuit, it explained what Sony is doing wrong. The gaming industry is now bigger than the film, TV, and music industries combined. Sony, as the manufacturer of the world's best-selling console, is one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful player in this market. And with such power comes responsibility. In the EU, it is illegal for large companies to abuse their position to make more profit at the expense of consumers. Yet Sony does not fully comply with these rules. When you buy a digital game or in-game content, Sony ensures that this can only be done via its own PlayStation Store. Sony keeps the market for itself in this way and can keep the prices artificially high. As a result, you pay more without getting anything extra in return. This is also called the Sony tax. Deborah, do you think that they have a case?
Yeah, because if you can only get it from PlayStation, then I think yeah. It's kind of difficult. I don't know. Like, Nintendo's known for never having discounts. Their games are always high. Like, I just put Astro Chain in my shopping cart. Mm-hmm. It's still $60. Mm-hmm. So it's like, but you can get it other places. That's the thing. I can go to GameStop or whatever and get it. So yeah, I guess they would either have to find another way to sell their stuff, which I guess they're moving to the PC market, so maybe that's their way out, or yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, not to, I mean, I have a reputation, I guess, for bashing PlayStation, so I guess I'll be careful here.
Just be yourself.
No, because you say that's not right.
No,
it's not okay.
It's fine.
No, you say
I just want you to be aware of it. That's all. Be yourself.
Listen, I'm just saying. I try to be me.
Let the hate flow through you.
No, not at all. I'm not a hater.
Just be aware of it.
Really not a hater.
Just be aware of the hate that you do. Don't pretend like, what are you talking about? I don't hate. I don't know.
I don't hate them.
Look, I have a PlayStation controller. Look.
Ash is actually sleeping on my back right now.
Yeah.
I don't want to move. She's like, you see her?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like sleeping up against my back right now. So
yeah.
I don't want to wake her up. So I won't grab the PlayStation controller, but I promise it's to my left. Right out of
I don't know why. You're the only one that hides it. Your wife knows you hate PlayStation.
I don't hate PlayStation.
Anthony knows you hate PlayStation. We all know.
I hate PlayStation. I don't understand where this came from.
You're the only one.
I had a PS2 before I had an Xbox. I don't understand what, like, I don't know what to tell you.
It's just the facts.
It's an incorrect fact.
You're the only one that's
false.
That's unaware of your hatred for Sony.
This was like today when Trump met France's president, and Trump said that France, in front of the French president, he said, yeah, France loaned Ukraine a bunch of money, and the French president was like, we gave them money. It wasn't a loan. Like, we wanted to help them, and we gave, like, he fact checked them in front of him.
That's
like,
great.
This is what's going on right now. Like, you're telling me, like, you're like,
well, you're not fact checking me.
Not like PlayStation, and I'm like, actually, like, I don't hate PlayStation.
You shit on Sony so often, and you don't even realize you're doing it.
No.
And you shit on them for like such minor things. Like, that's the crazy part.
What have I said?
One of them that stands out is like their handhelds. You're like, oh man.
Yeah, they never support them.
Because no one was paying for it.
You could literally ask PlayStation fans. Like, you could go on like to Kind of Funny, and like Greg Miller, who's a huge PlayStation fan, like they said it was called Vita Island. Because it was
exactly.
But it was all these people that loved their Vita. But guess what? PlayStation was like, we're not supporting it. It's factual.
No. Not only was no one buying it, it would cost so much more money because you had to redevelop the game for the PS Vita.
They called it Vita Island because it was people that weren't getting, like, they weren't supporting the Vita. They weren't.
But it's an island. It's a small. It wasn't Vita country.
That wasn't what. That's not what they meant.
But that's what it was, though. It was such a small. The Vita, the PSP and Vita's fan base was so small. It was just powerful. You know what I mean?
Listen, it's just factual that the PlayStation hasn't supported.
And then when we talked about oh, there were Xbox is working on a standalone and Sony's working on a standalone, And I said,
Handheld what?
Handheld.
Yeah.
They're redoing it,
Yeah.
and I said, you asked me, do I think that Xbox has, and I said, do I think Xbox has a good chance for making like a good handheld or something like that? And I said, yeah, but I think Sony has a better one because they've been in this market. And you're like, well, I disagree. And it's like, what are you talking about? Sony's done this 3 or 4 times.
Right, they've abandoned it each time.
But it does still have an upper hand. Xbox has never done this.
That's not hating. Like,
Xbox had a...
Dude, you hating on PlayStation. It's just factual that like they've constantly bailed out of the handheld market
because no one's buying into it. It's money.
Regardless of the reason, they still do it. Like, it doesn't matter. They still bail out of it. They don't support it. You look at the PSVR 2. They're sitting in a warehouse gathering dust. They had to,
even with the PSVR 2, they're still coming out with new games, and you keep saying they don't have any games coming out. They have new games coming out all the time. Like,
yeah,
at least
no one's like, they're just not supporting it.
Well, it's just, yeah.
There's no first party support coming out. All the PSVR 2 games coming out are available anywhere. So Sony had to literally, and again, I'm not hating, but I'm just being realistic. Sony had to say, okay, well, we're not selling PSVR 2s. We want this to be exclusive to our console, but I guess we're just going to make it available to, like, they came out with the adapter where you could go on the PC. Like, this isn't me hating on them. It's just looking at it. It's just looking at it in a factual way.
You say that they abandoned it as like, we don't care about this anymore. We're done with it.
Well, kind of. I mean, like, what?
No one's putting money into it.
First party PSVR 2 games even came out?
Not just PSV 2, but like handheld stuff. Nobody's buying it. It's just the facts. No one's buying it.
I don't know. The handheld
and
seems like a big market.
Today it is. That's why they're going back into it.
Too.
No, it was not.
I think it was.
It was not.
Well, yeah, the DS would beg to differ.
The DS made games for the DS.
Why couldn't Sony do that?
Because it was too expensive. They were taking games, developing them, and then redeveloping them for the PS. That's 2 development cycles.
Well, why not
and then no one was paying for it.
Why not just own new games?
Because they were working on they were working on console games.
I get what you're saying, but like, I'm just again, I don't.
It's not fair. And then Nintendo and Microsoft has not done it at all. People ask for handhelds from Microsoft and they haven't done it. And you're like, oh well, they just want to like you just make excuses.
I think that because of the Surface stuff, Microsoft knows how to make tablets and handhelds, so that's why I think.
Why haven't they done it? People have been asking for it since the 360.
That's a great question. I don't know why they haven't done it yet, but they're doing.
But you don't give them shit.
It's crazy. They haven't done it yet.
Yeah, they haven't done anything.
Like, I can't give Xbox a hard time for their 3D output.
You just said it yourself.
Sorry, for their VR output. Guess what? They haven't done VR.
And they have a console that's VR ready. They said that way back when, and they haven't done it. Yeah.
So you can't say anything because they just didn't do it. As a company,
we're
just not doing it.
At the time, they had the best headset at the time.
Wait, what do you mean?
They had a great headset when the Xbox launched. They still had a headset in develop or out VR in the world. Yeah, VR headset. Oh, okay. And they just didn't connect the two. You have both right there, and you just didn't connect the two.
Yeah, it's weird that they didn't do that with gaming, but they didn't do it. So therefore,
and then you have another company that actually does it. No one's paying for it, so they have to shut it down, and you're like shitting on them for it.
I'm not shitting on them. I'm just being realistic. They just didn't put out any first party games for it. Literally sat there and said, "Oh man, I really like this. I really want to buy it." But they didn't give anyone a reason to buy it. So people didn't buy it. People went and bought the Meta. You bought a Meta.
Not even the headset. I'm talking about... I mean, first of all, the headset had a lot of games. The PSVR has a lot of games.
Sure.
How many games does it take for you to buy something?
It depends.
Because there's a lot. There's about over 100 games for PSVR.
I guess I was looking for some big first-party games that were going to really draw me to the platform. To be fair, though, I also held off on getting a Meta, so I mean, me personally, I'm not the best example of this, but clearly the market followed suit. People went and bought the Meta 3. They didn't buy into the PSVR 2 for whatever reason. But at the end of the day, Sony did it. So I think it's worth criticizing them for. There are things that Xbox has done that we can criticize them for, but you can criticize the decision not to do VR, but at the end of the day, you can't criticize them doing VR because they didn't do VR. So I can't sit here and be like, well, Xbox, they suck. They did VR wrong. No, they didn't do VR at all. So it's I don't have an opinion on that.
As long as you're aware that you have Sony hate. And you have Sony hate a lot, and you don't even realize you're doing it. And I'm gonna call you out from now on. But I think you're gonna be aware of it now. You're gonna hate on Sony, and you're gonna be like, oh, I can't do that because Deborah's gonna shit on me for it.
No, here's the thing. I'm fully aware of my biases in the sense that, number one, Xbox is my preferred platform out of the 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Followed by Nintendo. PlayStation is my least preferred platform. I still think PlayStation makes phenomenal games. I mean, especially this generation, I think the controller, the DualSense, is just fucking amazing. Like, I don't have an issue with them in terms of a lot of things that they do. However, as a market leader, I think that they do a lot of things that they don't get enough critique for. So if I'm going, like, I feel like it's warranted to make that critique. Now, at the same time, if we did a show where it's like, okay, like, let's sit down and talk about everything Xbox does wrong, everything Nintendo does wrong. It's not like that would be any shorter of a show or any like less like
No.
It's just I think that it's worth mentioning and it's worth criticizing Sony because like just like Xbox is not a perfect platform obviously, and Nintendo is not a perfect platform obviously. I think PlayStation is also not a perfect platform, and I think that as the market leader, even if it's just my little corner of the internet, I have a responsibility to keep the market leader in check because Xbox doesn't seem to have any interest in keeping the market leader in check. So yes, if they do something that I think is shitty, that I think is bad business practice, bad for consumers.
You're definitely louder about their shittiness, sure.
I would say that that's a fair statement to make. That's.
And I think that's what I call hating. That's why I say you
It's
hate
not
on
a place to
Sony
hate.
because you're a lot louder. You're a lot louder with them.
But to clarify, like it's not a place to hate. Like I buy the PlayStation consoles. Sorry, there's a fuzz. I buy the PlayStation consoles. I play the first party games. I don't buy third party games on that platform because it's not my platform of choice. But yeah, it's just it is what it is. No, I think that like this is one of my concerns though with PlayStation being a market leader, an unfaced market leader. It's like, hey, like they've already been doing this when Xbox was trying to compete.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I think this is a good thing that's happening, especially with Microsoft going third party and more games are going. Like PlayStation's only going to grow, so you need to do this now.
Yeah.
Before like you get to get this out the way.
Right.
And I think maybe putting it on PC is the solution. Putting their games on like that makes them move faster but that's if they win the lawsuit. That's so who knows.
We'll see. Number 6 in the headlines. A big rumor that I'm very excited about, if true, about Rocksteady's next single-player game. It is based on Batman Beyond. A rumor linked to allegedly accurate leaker Lunatic Ignis. I like that this article says that the leaker is allegedly accurate. To be fair,
this is the second time we're hearing this though. Like, so I think there's credibility to this.
Yeah, for sure. But it's just funny that he's an allegedly accurate. Like,
yeah,
there's no evidence that he's.
That's
accurate.
funny.
He's like they're allegedly accurate. It follows a report from Bloomberg's Jason Schreier that developer Rocksteady is looking to return to the world of single-player Batman. Word on these lawless, unverified streets suggests that this next effort would be based on the incredibly awesome, darker Batman Beyond, adapting its narrative but not the animated series' distinctive art style.
Please be true.
However, curiously, the rumors suggest that the gritty IP could be a PS5 exclusive, which
I don't care.
I think that sounds crazy. This article, which comes from Push Square, which is a PlayStation News site, they think that it's downright suicidal, especially following the fallout of the multi-million-dollar flop Suicide Squad. I agree with that. It kind of also coincides with what we were talking about last week, where it's like, is it really worth it for PlayStation to spend this money? Because I don't think it is. To keep games off other platforms. That includes PC. But like you said, I mean, if it is a PS5 exclusive, like I would buy it on my PlayStation 5. I love Batman Beyond. My only request is that we get Will Friedle to be Terry McGinnis.
Was he the original voice?
He was the original voice of Terry McGinnis from Batman Beyond. Will Friedle, yes, the Will Friedle who was Eric Matthews in Boy Meets World. Like he was, so Will Friedle, he's actually talked about it in recent years, but he actually got like really bad anxiety to a point where he stopped doing like in-person acting and moved to voice acting because like he just got such bad. I forget exactly the story. If you want to hear it, like it's out there. You can go check it out. But like, yeah, he said like he did like I think it was either a live appearance once or he like did a certain show or movie, and for whatever reason he got like an extremely strong anxiety attack, and like he's just like I can't do in-person acting anymore. Like I just can't do it.
The only thing like.
But he did come back for Girl Meets World, so I mean, I guess he made it work. But no, so he moved to, like, well, it's like he's Raw Unstoppable and Kim Possible.
Yeah.
Around that same time, like he did Batman Beyond, he was Terry McGinnis.
I hope he can still, because he's a lot older now. Terry McGinnis is a teenager.
You know
it's
how
like
voice actors are.
yeah. I hope he can still do that. But like if not, I don't know. Batman Beyond is such a light. There's not a lot of history there for Batman Beyond, so they can do whatever they want.
I mean, there's probably comic stuff that I'm not aware of. But,
yeah,
like,
but
you
even
are
comic
right.
wise, it's still really light. Like
That's true.
so,
Yeah.
I'm happy either way.
Yeah, I hope it's true because I really love Batman Beyond for the brief time that we had it as a show.
I also think if you're Rocksteady, this is where you go. Like, what do you do? Your live service game failed, so
go back to what works.
yeah.
Like do what works. Like please, just do what works.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep it with the DC news. So number 7 headlines: DCU bosses have discussed new games with Rocksteady and NetherRealm. Excuse me. Last January, DC revealed its latest attempt at creating a connected media universe. This time, including video games that feature the same canon, storylines, and actors from the film, television, and animation worlds. And it provided an update on the company's plans in the gaming space during recent DC Studios event attended by Comic Book. Saffron said he and James Gunn are working incredibly closely with JB Perrette, Warner's CEO of global streaming and games. Quote, "It's really the first time it's ever been this way at Warner Brothers. James and I sit with the guys that run the studios under JB, whether it's NetherRealm or Rocksteady. We sit with them and we talk about characters and stories that we're interested in and that they're interested in." He says, "We see designs for the projects in their very earliest stages," added Gunn. "We talk about those. We talk about what the story might be. And we'll say, well, maybe you want to go this way because we're planning on maybe doing something with this character." Gunn said that the first DCU game won't arrive for a couple years. He said, "Yeah, it's a couple years, but we've had some pretty active involvement in stuff coming up that's really interested," Saffron added. It was recently claimed that Rocksteady is working on a single-player Batman game, which we just talked about. Yeah, I mean, that's something that I will criticize like Marvel for, is that like I never understood why Marvel didn't dip more into gaming with like the MCU.
Me personally, I don't want movie video games. Like
No, but I'm not saying like that. I'm saying like a game that ties into the MCU. Not a game based off an MCU movie, but like, and that's what they're saying. They're saying a story that's told in a video game that is canon to the DCU.
okay, all right.
It's not like, hey, the next Superman game, what is this like a rumored Rocksteady?
No, this is when Unreal Engine first came out. Someone made this fan made.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say because this definitely is not a game. This is not a real game that you have up right now.
No.
Superman sucks anyway. Worst superhero. I'm not like I will die on this hill. Superman is the absolute worst superhero. Like he's so boring.
He's not, but it's
he's
okay.
So boring.
He's not.
He is.
You just don't know enough about him, and you refuse to learn. Much like the AI, you refuse to learn anything about Superman.
He's just boring.
So you're so wrong. You're so
I
wrong.
He's like, "Hi, I'm Superman.
You're so wrong.
I can do everything. My weakness is green rocks."
What else? What are the other weaknesses?
Well, kryptonite, obviously.
Yeah, but what are his other ones? He has more than one weakness.
What are they?
Exactly.
Why,
you see?
why
Look at this.
me?
You see this?
Why don't you tell me what his weaknesses are?
You don't even want to learn. I'm not.
Is it like Wonder Woman where it's like you bound his wrists together?
No, it's not. And I'm not going to go there. But the fact that you don't know other Superman weaknesses is point enough.
No, what are they? Maybe I forgot. I don't remember.
For one, magic. He's not impervious to magic. Where Aquaman is impervious to magic. So there are things, there are missions where you send and don't even talk shit about Aquaman. Aquaman's great too. I knew that was coming.
I was actually gonna say, you know what? Maybe Superman's not the worst. Aquaman's pretty bad.
Aquaman does get a lot of shit.
Aquaman is cool too. Yeah, no, actually,
no,
Aquaman
he's great.
Sucks.
He's
no,
cool.
He sucks.
The more you know about him, the
he's
better
like, guys, the whales will help us. The whales will help us.
But no, I would actually like a Superman game. I would love a Batman game. I would love a game. I'm still not tied. I still don't want games tied into the universe. Like I don't want to see actors. I don't want to see Johnny Depp or like. I don't want to see other actors in my games personally. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what's interesting though? It's off topic, but it is DCU related. So like James Gunn was talking. I guess maybe it's the same interview. I don't know, but I was reading it today. So like they're still making like the Robert Pattinson like Batman movies.
Oh yeah.
And like, but James Gunn was like today. He said it's not their Batman.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think that's a bad call. And the reason that I think that's a bad call is like I don't.
Can I tell you my reason why I think it's a good call? Well, yes. You tell me yours first. Why
so my thing with it is that like there's only so many times that I want, and I've said the same thing in the past like about Spider-Man because like there was a rumor that they might scrap Tom Holland Remember that happened a few years ago when like Marvel and Sony were like duking it out, and they were like, "Oh, well, we're gonna like Sony will retain the rights, and they're just gonna reboot Spider-Man again."
Yeah.
And I was like, I have zero interest in them rebooting Spider-Man again. Like in my lifetime, we have at that point we're gonna have had 4 Spider-Mans. That's ridiculous. Like yes, like you enjoy the nostalgia of like, oh God, what? Why?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Like the newest. Oh my
Tom
God.
Holland.
Tom Holland. Thank you. That was crazy.
I do it all the time.
Yeah, so I'm just like.
What's the other guy?
It's like that guy that was the young Nathan Drake in the Uncharted movie. No, Tom Holland. But like, it's cool having Tom Holland see Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, Andrew Garfield.
And you know, and like in there, and Tobey Maguire and them all doing that. Like that's cool. But like at the same time, it's like I don't need them to reboot Spider-Man again. And so like that's kind of how I feel about Batman, where it's like okay, so like the Christopher Nolan one happened, like the trilogy, and that trilogy is amazing and like whatever, perfect.
Not perfect.
It's very close to perfect. Like, what do you not like about them?
We can talk about that later.
No. Now you've said it. Now I want to know.
Don't get me wrong. I think The Dark Knight is one of the greatest Batman films.
It's the best one. Yeah, surely.
But as a whole, it's like.
Is it The Dark Knight Rises? Because a lot of people that one rubs people.
No. It's the trilogy. It's the world that Christopher Nolan made, where it's like it's very grounded and like.
Yeah, that's good.
Almost
like
too grounded.
Really.
If you watch that movie again, look at any fight scene from any of the 3 movies.
Okay.
An actual Batman is a martial art master.
Yeah.
Watch any fight scene. It's so bad. Like this
so you're saying the action's bad?
Yeah, it's almost too grounded. I like Batman is a fantastical hero.
Oh, you don't like that Batman is like he just does martial arts. Like he's just a ninja. Like you don't like that Batman's just a regular dude that like punches people.
No, I'm fine with that. It's just this is I don't even know if this is a hot take anymore because I think a lot of people agree with me. One of my favorite versions of Batman that didn't get enough love is Ben Affleck's Batman. He's a very fantastical Batman that fits. He doesn't need to be grounded all the way. He's very he wears a cloth suit. He's bulletproof. But he's not knife proof. He's fast. He's scary. They didn't do enough with him. But I really love his version of Batman.
The only thing about the Batman Christopher Nolan trilogy that I don't like, and I feel like this is a nitpick, but I mean it's silly.
The voice.
I hate the Batman.
Yeah, that's another.
Joker.
Yeah, like when you rewatch, like at the time,
I caught a Pokemon Batman. What Pokemon Joker?
If you ever rewatch those movies, I think it's one of those things where you're like,
it's so cringe.
It's very
so
cringe.
Bad.
It's so and there's a lot of things, but it's not just the voice. There's a lot of little things like that across the 3 movies where it's like
maybe I don't know, man.
Time does not hold up.
The Dark Knight is just incredible.
The Dark Knight is the Dark Knight's incredible.
Batman Begins. I'm a big fan of Batman Begins. I love that story there. I love the world. I love the whole way Gotham looks. I love Liam Neeson in that. Like I just think it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then Dark Knight Rises is definitely not perfect, but it's really good in my opinion.
Yeah.
But anyways, and I actually agree with you. I think Ben Affleck's Batman is also incredible. I think that Batman got such a bad deal there.
Yeah.
Because that movie sucked.
Yeah.
That DCEU sucked.
Even the Flash movie where he's in it, it's like that movie was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, Ben Affleck's Batman, it's so unfair. But my point is that like.
Oh, so what I was gonna say is Robert Pattinson Batman. So based off the trailer of the Superman movie, James Gunn is going all in for like traditional comics. He put crypto in the movie. That's amazing. Sure. I
get that.
Robert Pattinson, his Batman doesn't fit into that world.
So here's my thing, right? The reason that I like, and I get that. I don't disagree with it, but my thing with it is like.
There's also, before you say that, there's also concept art that James Gunn put out for his Batman, and it's like animated. It's the animated Batman. Like he has white eyes in the picture, and
again,
it's like
I'm totally down. Like I'm totally.
I love it. You just don't want another Batman. I get it.
Yeah, it's just like because here's the thing, and like at the end of the day, this is just who I am. I like the dark, gritty stories. Like it's like you go to video games. Like I love Zelda. My favorite Zelda games.
But I think Robert Pattinson is that dark, gritty Batman.
I love it. It's so good. Like I really stand by that. I love that. Like the Batman.
Yeah.
Like I love that movie. I think it's just phenomenal.
Yeah, it's great.
Like people can give it a little bit of a hard time.
You haven't
like, the Batmobile's like really like a realistic car.
I love it. Please, if you get a chance, watch Penguin.
I know I need to.
It's so good.
I heard. I know.
Yeah, and it just improves on the world again.
I know.
All right.
But that's what I'm saying, though. But that's my problem. Like, they're building this IP over here with the Batman IP or whatever.
Yeah, and
like, the series is so good. The movie's incredible. They're making another movie. Like, you mean to tell me that right now they're making...
They're going to have 2 Batman at the same time, if that's what you're asking.
If they're going to do that, like, that's... I think I'm okay with that, but, like, it's not ideal. Where it's, like... I just don't need there to be the multiple Batmans. And, like, I don't need there... Like, my thing with the Spider-Man critique is, like, it's even worse with Batman because, like, Ben Affleck was just Batman, and then they reboot with the Batman, and now like the Batman is actually good, but they gave James Gunn the keys to the DCU, so now like James Gunn's like, well, that's great, but I want to do my own thing, and it's just like, I think it might be a little oversaturation. It would be like if Marvel right now was like, I don't know, maybe I can't come up with a good analogy. Maybe Captain America would be the best analogy I can make. But I think I want Chris Evans to come back as captain, so...
But it wouldn't be Chris Evans, that's the thing.
Well, what I'm saying is, like, yeah, like, if they
did that...
If they rebooted Captain America with a new Steve Rogers, I'd be like, well, no, I mean, like...
Yeah.
I think Bucky should have been Cap, not Sam, just because of, like, their histories.
That's crazy.
I know we disagree on that, that's fine.
That's insane.
Well, I know in the comics both of them do it. I think that Bucky's reasoning makes more sense in a lot of ways.
No, it doesn't.
We can disagree on that. I just think it makes sense. I like it better as a story arc. I think that Bucky going from
it's a worse story arc,
who was brainwashed,
exactly,
free,
to being Captain America.
Yeah,
you choose
he overcomes it.
Do you know why he chose?
I think Sam Wilson should get to be his own character and Falcon.
Do you know why he chose Sam Wilson? Because you choose a good man, not a good soldier, and Sam Wilson is that good man.
He is a good man. You see that before he gets kidnapped.
He was. He was compromised, and like he's not the same.
You don't think he couldn't come back from that? You don't think we should trust him? So when like
to be Captain America, no.
Thanos, it's just like I don't trust that Bucky dude.
Who's more American, Sam Wilson, who was in the army, who worked side by side with him, or the guy who was compromised by Russians and like murdered Americans?
Listen, it's called a redemption story.
Okay? No.
I mean,
he got his redemption. He did get his redemption, and I'm proud of him. I'm happy for where he is now.
Again, it's a. I'm not arguing it because like I'm not saying Sam Wilson was a bad pick. I'm just saying if I was doing it,
that's why you're not Captain America. Captain America made the right choice, and I trust Captain America because he's my hero.
Oh yeah, okay.
I trust Captain America.
Dude's literally my favorite.
I can't believe
Marvel hero, and you're just like.
I can't believe you're saying he's wrong. That's crazy.
I'm not saying he's wrong.
You're saying he's wrong. You say he chose wrong.
I think Sam's a good
He chose Sam Wilson.
I think Sam's a good choice.
But you think he should have chosen Bucky? That's wild.
I just think I think that from a narrative perspective, I think Bucky becoming Cap would have been better because I think Falcon and Sam Wilson have like a lot more narrative on its own merits where like he didn't need to become Captain America. Whereas like Bucky is just kind of like, well, what does Bucky do now? Now Bucky is going to be like he's going to be part of the Thunderbolts and he's going to be like the Rick Flag equivalent of the Thunderbolts where he's like, all right kids, let's go fight the bad guys. Like
that's what he gets.
Well, he was kidnapped. He was a POW.
I agree. But he still killed people. He still killed people. He still killed Americans.
You want POV?
He killed Tony Stark's parents.
What do you think POWs
that's okay?
You think POWs are suckers?
You think that's okay? For him to just kill and then become Captain America? Yeah, under Trump's world, he would 100% be Captain America.
No, under Trump's world, the guy that becomes Captain
America. I know you're talking about. I forget his name. I don't remember his name.
I don't know. Anyways, comic book movies.
This has been a heated episode so far.
And the funny thing is, like, the VR thing, like, I really wasn't trying to be dismissive. You got really worked up. I'm, like, being so serious about it, but it is what it is. Number 8, Niantic might be selling their games business. It's closing in on a deal to sell its games division, which includes Pokemon Go, to Saudi Arabia-backed Scopely Inc. for $3.5 billion.
How much?
$3.5 billion. Saudi Arabia buying Pokemon Go.
I feel like Pokemon Go is worth more than that, but like get your bag, I guess.
Again, yeah, you would. I mean, it's. I feel like I'm going to be wrong in saying this, but are people really still playing Pokemon Go?
Yeah, they are. They just had the new Black White update where you can catch the Kyogre.
Okay, I just don't feel like people play it anymore, but I'm willing to admit that I'm probably wrong on that one. So yeah, we'll see how that goes, but they're closing in on that deal. Number 9, the headlines: Among Us VR is getting a non-VR release called Among Us 3D. It will allow fans to play the VR version or VR game in first person without the use of a VR headset. It's coming soon to PC, but I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a console release in the near future.
Is there like, can you speak to people?
No, which I hate. Like, oh my
I'm surprised
God,
that's not a thing. Or like,
me so much. Like, here's the thing. I
You love this game.
but I never get to play it.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that plays this game, and like when I go online to play, there's no voice chat, and like the thing is, I play it on my console, so like I'm.
So you have to type every time.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It sucks.
That's crazy that
It
they haven't
sucks.
implemented that.
By the way, this guy that you're
He's hilarious.
He is hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Among Us is like a game I wish I could play. I could probably play Among Us for like days upon days upon days, and like have just never played it.
I can't think of the name of the other. Do you know about the other space like Among Us VR like game that's pretty big right now? I think it's a PC only game.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I forget what it's called though.
Yeah, it's like there are ways.
Another one where it's like that's cool. Like
Yeah.
I love social deception games.
Yeah.
I love games like this. Like
So maybe you can jump into this, in 3D.
I wish. I don't know anybody who wants to play.
Play with strangers.
But again, like there's no voice chat. Although this guy's got voice, so maybe this version is.
Yeah, I was gonna
chat?
say if this one has voice chat, try it this way.
Yeah,
or
if this version does, I would definitely try it.
we could probably set up like game nights over Discord, playing like.
We need to.
Yeah.
I really want to play Among Us, like really badly. Number 10 on the headlines: The Last of Us season 2, the show. Well, I guess season 2 is a dead giveaway. Duh. Release date and episode count revealed. The show will be released on April 13th of this year, and it will consist of 7 episodes. I forget, you're a pro binge guy, right? You want them to drop all the episodes at once.
Yeah.
See, I'm the other way.
You like the weekly?
I love the weekly because it's like you have time to like sit on the episode, and I think that your like shows are better for that.
It depends on how good the show is. Like, I think I told you about Severance. I'm watching the show.
Heard about
I love the show too much to like. Someone told me, "Hey, you need to start watching it." So I watched like the first 4 episodes, and now I have to watch weekly because at this point I can't stop now.
So I really like, actually, believe it or not, I really like the Disney Plus model. What they do, so what they'll do is they'll launch like the first two
episodes, yeah.
And then like you're just like, oh, this is like you watch the first one. If you really like it, you got that second one there immediately, and then like after that, it's like, oh man, if you want to watch more, you got to come back next week.
If the show's good enough, I'll do weekly, but.
I don't know. I've just always enjoyed it that way. Like most of the shows that have like been weekly, like I think again, it lets you sit on it. It lets you have discourse. You know what I mean? Like there's no like, well, how far are you? How far are you? Like when a show comes out, and they do like, okay, week 1, here's 1 episode. Like, okay, well now you get to talk about that episode
for the next week.
And like I think that's part of the fun.
Yeah.
Whereas like when you binge it, it's just like, well, how far are you? Like, oh, I'm on episode 4. Oh, I'm on episode 8. So we can't really talk too much about it because like I know things you don't. And like I don't know, I think
I get it.
It makes for worse discourse. I'm not a fan of it personally. But so all 7 episodes are dropping on April 13th, 2025. Which so last time I watched it on Blu-ray when they came out, but I have Max now, so I'll probably watch it on Max
After you watch Penguin.
Yeah, Penguin's on Max too. I have no time.
It's so good.
I know earlier you made a joke like, "Oh, you have all this time." Like, I really don't have time.
I know.
We
both don't have time.
I really don't have time.
Yeah.
You said that. I was like, I'm not trying to be argumentative, but I really don't have time.
No, I know you don't.
But I'm looking forward to this. The first season's really good. I forget. Have you watched it yet?
Yeah. I really like the first season.
Okay, I was making sure. Yeah, it's really good.
And I like where it stopped because I really like that second half of the game where like it's like the winner. Like that's a really good.
Yeah.
That's a really good part. So.
All right. Number 11, Devereaux. This one might hit a little close to home. Super Bowl champion Devontae Smith.
Oh, I love that guy. The dagger.
The dagger. I love it so much. Devontae Smith apparently is facing cheating claims in Warzone. On February 9th, Devontae Smith won the Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles in front of 127 million viewers, which they actually went and increased that number to 195 million, including streaming. So it was the most watched live event ever.
That's crazy.
I know, isn't that great?
That is great.
It's so great. Like more people have watched that than anything live.
That's awesome.
It's so cool. But anyways, 1 week later, the superstar wide receiver was staring down accusations that labeled him a malicious cheater in Call of Duty Warzone. While streaming in Warzone in the last few days, Smith came under fire from a slew of allegations across social media, being lambasted by folks hell-bent on branding the athlete as a lousy cheater. In clips that surfaced online, some suspicious sequences unraveled. But what's the truth of it?
He's a great. He has great aim. You know, like he catches all the time. I can imagine he shoots people.
I'm trying to watch this clip. It's actually not loading. I didn't actually get to watch the clip.
It's probably like aimbot stuff.
I don't know. Yeah, for some reason it's not loading. Maybe it got taken down because it's so blasphemous.
This isn't the clip playing. I just have B-roll for people watching.
Oh, okay. So we talked about clip of Devontae Smith's gameplay appeared on ML Football on X. It was only a minute-long segment, and it was uploaded to showcase Smith's humorous comms while streaming Warzone, but it was enough for Call of Duty sleuths to identify some strange going-ons. In the video, you can see Smith, who streams under the guise Smitty TV, gunning down the opposition on Rebirth Island. It's plain as day. His accuracy and locks are scarily good, and even targets flying through the air on those appearing suddenly at long range are no challenge for the Eagle Star. So here's my thing, right? I think that being a pro athlete, especially an athlete of that caliber, where like you got to have good reflexes. So the two reasons why I don't think Devontae Smith is a cheater. Number one is that I think he could just be very good at the game. You see the guy, the things that this guy does with his hands, the way he gets, and like the toe, like the milliseconds that it takes for him to make sure both feet are in balance for these crazy catches he makes. Like, I just think it's very feasible that he has that kind of reflex.
I also feel like, and this could just be us making excuses for him because we do like Devontae Smith, but someone that
you're about to say what my second thing.
Okay, I was gonna say like
go ahead.
someone that competitive. Yes. You can't see them like.
There is no way that this dude who didn't even want to really celebrate the Super Bowl,
yeah,
and was like they're on the sidelines being like, "We got to get back here again." It's not enough. Someone that's that competitive, you mean to tell me that dude's going to go and bother to cheat on a video game?
I never won a Super Bowl. I don't have a Super Bowl ring. Me and you are very competitive. Yeah. It's less.
I would never cheat in Call of Duty.
It's so much less fun. You know what I mean? Like there's no.
Like, who are you impressing?
Exactly. You get the W for cheating, and it's like.
Yeah, it's like whatever.
Yeah.
Like you said, we're both competitive, but like we don't cheat.
Yeah,
so what's the point?
It's less fun that way.
Well, yeah, what's the point?
Yeah. So like
that's my big thing.
Yeah.
Just like I think that Devontae Smith is way too competitive, has way too much pride to do that.
Spending hours to play this game while he's cheating, it just doesn't. For me, it doesn't make sense, but
now Smith did publicly address it. He said, "Since y'all think I'm cheating on COD, just join the stream tonight."
All right, yeah. See, I believe him.
So unfortunately, these allegations rarely go away, but
it's probably Packers or Washingtons or Chiefs fans.
Yeah, and that's my thing. It's just like it's probably just like a bunch of Chiefs fans. Like, look at this guy's a cheater.
Yeah.
Can't stand it. But nah, it's ridiculous. Love Smitty. Our last headline for the day is a quick little update on something we talked about a couple weeks ago. The Lego Game Boy. Yes, the Lego is back, and they're making another Nintendo hardware before the Switch 2 drops. It is a Lego Game Boy. The news comes from Falcon Brick Studios, an Instagram account with a long track record of posting information about Lego sets. The account claims that the set will be released on October 1st. It will be $60, which I think is actually not that bad, and will include 421 pieces. In comparison with other branded Lego, this is somewhat more expensive than is typical. Really? That's actually surprising for me. Oh, I guess it says here the Harry Potter Night Bus Adventure Set, which was 500 pieces, was $50. Okay. I wonder if it like plays Game Boy games or something crazy, something stupid like that. But yeah, that's pretty much all we got from that.
Is it just the OG Game Boy?
I think it's just the OG.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's just the old school.
This video, by the way, is 10 years old. It's not Lego. It's brick roll.
Oh, okay.
But very old video.
I mean, a lot of them look really good.
Yeah.
Still want that Lego Deco tree. I saw it at a
Is that out?
Global.
Oh,
yeah,
okay, it's out
in
already.
September.
How much is it?
It's like $300. I know, that's the one thing. Stop.
Yeah.
I could totally.
How big is it? Like, is it?
I could see us like building it and like setting it up somewhere, like building it and then putting it on like a table.
100%.
And like it would just look incredible.
100%.
But
Yeah.
It's $300.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I think it's just absurd. I'm trying to get the dimensions. Yeah, leave me alone.
We can do it later. You can leave that up.
No, it's right here. The dimension, I think it's 13 inches in height.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's 13 inches. It's over a foot. I wouldn't use that one though. I would want because it's a 2-in-1.
You want the classic?
I about that.
Yeah, that
Look
one.
at that.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Oh god,
That's the better looking one.
I would love to buy it and then just have you build it.
I would love that. I would love for you to buy it so that only I could build it. 100%.
Yeah, I would just sit back and then you would build it, and then I would just put it somewhere like that. Just looks incredible.
Yeah.
But
300.
But alas,
Damn.
yeah, 300. The Eagles have to go and win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So I I don't have any extra money now. I just spent all of it on that. Anyways, that's the headlines for the week. Before we get out of here, let's do the wrap up. Game Informer Memorial game releases for the week of February 24th. We have 5 releases for the week. Number 1, Ninja 5.0 comes out on PC, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and Switch tomorrow on the 25th. Glover, the N64, I guess cult classic, because I don't remember that game ever being any good, but people are really excited about it coming out. The remaster or the port is coming out on PS4, PS5, Switch, Xbox One, and Xbox Series on February 27th. Number 3, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Early Days Collection is coming out on PC and Switch on February 27th. Number 4, Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii comes out on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X on February 28th. Interesting that was listed as Series X and not Series S. I assume that must be a typo.
Wait, it was only
so
Series...
it's Glover. Maybe that's a typo from GameSpot. That it's not on Series S as well. Whatever. Number 5, Monster Hunter Wilds for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series consoles on February 28th. Deborah, what is your pick for the week?
I think I know what yours is. Mine's going to be Monster Hunter Wilds.
Okay.
I think it's a gorgeous looking game. It looks really fun. Although I'm not in the Monster Hunter universe, I don't play those games.
Right.
This one just looks really cool.
So yeah, my pick is going to be Yu-Gi-Oh! The Early Days Collection.
Is this something you're getting?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm getting this. I have it pre-ordered. So I'm looking forward to it. It's got like 9 or 10
That's crazy.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Games, like old Yu-Gi-Oh! Games. So I'm really looking forward to kind of going back and playing through them, considering like growing up I only played like 1 or 2 of these.
Bro, I'm telling you, Nintendo's not doing that with Pokemon. You're insane.
I didn't say it. It's just a rumor.
I know.
It's just the rumor.
I know. I want it to be true. Don't get me
Just
wrong.
know, like if it happens, like when I see it, even if I'm like watching it like on break at work,
You're going to scream, yeah.
I'm going to fall onto my knees. Be like, it finally happened.
I'm going to check on you.
It finally happened.
It's the showcase is at 9 a.m. here, right?
Yeah.
9 a.m. Eastern.
I think the way I'm working that day, it's like I might actually be able to take a break at like 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm going to make sure I'm like at my desk or something.
It might be like at 9:05, but like I'm gonna watch it around the time that it happens.
Same.
So that's my pick for the week. But like I also want to give a shout out to Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, just because like it just looks like
That
such a
also
fun-ass
looks like a game. Yeah, it
Samoa
looks fun.
Joe's in it, AEW wrestler Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
So like that's really cool as well. Glover, man, I don't get it. Have you ever played Glover?
No, I don't think so.
Do you know of Glover?
I know of it. I've never played it.
So, I had it on the N64 as a kid, and I remember hating this game. Like, I remember this game just being terrible. But, like, apparently people are excited that it's back. So, I don't know. Like, I just... Yeah, I don't know.
It's like a platformer, right?
Yeah, it's a 3D platformer, which, to be fair, back then, like, it wasn't an easy thing to do. You know what I mean? Like, the only really good 3D platformers are, like, the Marios and the Banjos, really.
Spyro...
I'm saying, what year did Spyro come out?
I don't know.
It was around the same.
N64, yeah.
I don't know. I just remember playing Glover and being like, this game sucks. Are you looking at a gameplay right now?
Yeah, I'm looking at you. I'll throw it up real quick.
Yeah. I just remember like playing it. And, like,
It actually... I mean, I think this is for the remake.
Maybe I was just a dumb kid, but I just remember being like, this game sucks. I just remember being so bad at this game. I mean, like, it's just not a good game. Well, because like I would always lose the ball. Like, 'cause you need to keep the ball, and then like I would.
Yeah, I can see that being really hard with.
And you can
N64
like you sometimes you dribble it, but sometimes you kind of push it. Yeah, I guess maybe the controller is what made it bad.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to concede that the controller could have been the problem.
We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. So I beat Indiana Jones, completed it, got 100% achievements.
Nice.
Ran into like at the very end, ran into a bug, and I was like,
what kind of bug?
So, and apparently a lot of people are having this problem. So there's this, and on the last level, there's so they have field notes, which sometimes you take a picture of something, sometimes you pick up a note. It's a collectible.
Okay.
But so the pictures can be the collectibles too, and so when you load up the last level, like right when you start, there's a picture that you can take. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but there's a picture that you can take that's a field note. And I went and took a picture of it, and it didn't register in my field notes. So I go through and I wrap up everything else. I get to the end of the game. I do the secret ending. I did that annoying ass puzzle that you walked in on.
You were getting mad at that.
Well, I found
she was in the way.
I found out that I needed to go and progress further before I did it. So once you beat the game, you kind of go back,
and she won't be in the way. Gotcha.
So when I went back and did it, it was actually like way easier and less frustrating. Which is actually probably why they did that. She's like, stop! You can't do it. You can't do it yet. You don't have the last piece that you need. But yeah, so like it bugged out for me, and so like I was so bummed. And like I'm sure they'd fix it, but like it's one of those things where it's like I want to like move on, and like I don't want to have to keep checking in on it. But so somebody noted that when you go to a puzzle, like in the game, you come across like the big puzzles on the levels. You can take a picture of the puzzle, and it gives you hints. So someone said that what they did was they went to this one specific puzzle in the Vatican, and they just kept spamming the hint. They took pictures to get the hints to keep popping up, and eventually, for some reason, that made it trigger and counted the field note.
Hopefully they patch that, because that sounds annoying.
Yeah, I think the update came out last week.
Okay.
Or like early this week or late last week. But so basically I went there, I spammed it like for like a minute. Not a minute, it was more like 30 seconds. And then it popped. And I was like, thank God. So I was like, I loved it. I loved Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. It was a lot of fun. So now I'm playing The Legend of Zelda Four Swords Adventure. A game that I've never beaten. I think it's like the one of the very few, there's only 2 Zelda games that I've never beaten, and that's one of them. The other one's Zelda 2, and like that one's just ridiculous. Like just impossible.
What's your next game?
After the Four Swords Adventure, I have to really kind of I gotta take a look at it. Avowed's obviously up there, but there's also some other games in the backlog that are just like really calling out to me. So Four Swords Adventure, I'm like halfway through. So we'll see come next week if I'm done it. I don't see why I wouldn't be, but like I mean obviously you never know. So we'll see how it goes. But that's gonna pretty much do it here for us tonight. Once again, thank you to everyone hanging out with us. If you like the video or you like the conversation, make sure you subscribe, like, all that. Check out our previous conversations. Join our Discord. We're always talking about games and other stuff there. But until next time, we'll see you later. Yeah, so AI sucks. I don't know.
Such an old man.
I literally begged you to show me why, like, correct me. I'm begging.
It's not as easy as you're saying. That's all I said. That's all I'm trying to put through. It does take creativity, and it does take work.
I said correct me, and you were like...
I'm doing it right home.
I can't. You said that. You literally said...
We're done.
We're not done.